Hi, everybody. I'm Adam,
I'm Michael.
and we're born in Ohio.
Oh, you want me to talk about myself?
I don't know. Got to explain a little bit.
I'll use your word, creative. I got 2 kids and a wife, and I'm jobless. So I'm doing a podcast.
I am also creative, freelance creative, currently jobless. I have no kids, but I do have a wife, so I'm doing a podcast.
And a cat.
I know I have a cat. So, Michael, what can 2 out-of-work grown men possibly talk about in a podcast?
Well, sports, but you don't watch any. So that would leave movies, television, that kind of entertainment, I guess.
Yeah. The already overcrowded nerd sphere that we exist in.
Yes, and we generally disagree on movies anyway. Well, not, and for the most part, we like them, most of them. But the ones that I like or you don't like or vice versa, we banter over forever. So why not let everyone else listen to it?
I agree. For our debut episode, we're going to deal with the highly divisive The Last Jedi.
God. Right, and I was forced to do 4 likes and only 4 things I hated.
Oh, I did 5 and 5.
Did you?
I struggled with the 5 likes.
Look, I added a 5th hate because I have so many, and I'm adding a 5th just to be,
All right. Well, why don't we
You want
leapfrog? You can tell me your first. We'll start with a like.
I figured
nice.
you wanted to do likes first.
Well, no, we'll go back and forth.
Oh.
But
All right.
I say let's start off nice.
Okay. So my first like, and they had pretty shots, and the whole freeze frame of what was it, the dreadnought, not battle destroyer thing with the ship flying through it and the freeze and the no sound. And the white sand with the blood sand underneath it was cool for the first 30 seconds, and then after that it kind of wore on me. But other than that, pretty. There's some pretty stylistic things in it. That was one thing that I can say that I liked about the film.
Okay. And we haven't actually discussed this prior to this, so visual style is one of my likes as well. And I mean, anytime that they're using practical aspects as much as they can, and it's hard to do in a Star Wars movie, but I mean, they're not going hog wild with CG like Lucas did with the prequels. I appreciate that. All the shots on that island were really nice. It's nice to see an actual environment, not some obviously green screen crap.
Yes, I agree with that.
So that, and I mean, like some of the shots at the end where like Luke stepped out onto the salt field, where it looked cool, but yeah.
Yeah.
First nice thing out of the way. Now, let's go with your first dislike.
My first dislike was Skyping in space. Okay, and okay, this is kind of a 2-parter thing. Okay, it's because they're together. So you got the Skyping between Rey and
Force talk. People are calling it force talk.
Sure, you call it force talk all you want. It's freaking Skyping. He's even got a shirt off half, in one part of it too.
That's like Snapchat.
No, I've never used. Is that what people
I
do
think
on Snapchat?
Yeah, they
Well, I need to get Snapchat.
it's like a skin show.
I'm missing out. So you got the Skyping, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You got these force talking ridiculousness, okay? And the thing is, I get and I liked the fact that you can even count this as kind of a like, that they are really working on that relationship between the two of them, okay? That tension thing. And I like that. So whether they like each other or maybe in love or whatever the hell else, or hate each other or whatever. Okay, I liked that. I just did not like do that once, right? Don't do that 6 or whatever times that they did it. All of a sudden, everyone pauses and, I can see you, you can see me, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but with this Skyping thing, you got Luke who can project himself at the end of the film, okay? But he can't detect the two of them talking. That's kind of weird to me, which also goes hand in hand with my biggest thing with this same thing is Snoke is so damn powerful. He can connect.
You're jumping all over the
No,
place.
this is all in the same thing with the Skype. This is what I'm getting to.
See, I think you just combined a bunch of stuff into Skype.
Okay, this does count, all right? So Snoke is so powerful, he can phone call connect Kylo and Rey to talk to each other using that force. Oh my God, so powerful to take one Jedi and one knight of whatever Ren shit and Sith, whatever the hell he is, and connect it to a Jedi. But he can't detect a little bit of a force finger to his right next to his hip before it slices through his body. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So either get rid of Skyping, and that'll clear up him not realizing Kylo is as powerful as he is, if that's maybe a thing. Or it's so damn ridiculous. Go ahead.
I didn't have any problem with the Skyping. From a story standpoint, they kind of needed a way for those two to talk and like find empathy for each other, or else their storyline wasn't going to work. I think it's weird that it required Snoke to connect them, and then at the end, after Snoke's been killed, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I guess they're powerful enough now. Like, why?
Right.
That's my problem with it. Like, that just seems silly.
Yes. I kind of go into that in my second like too, about Rey's amazing Jedi powers with no training. Like Luke can't lift a ship, all right, in Empire. He can't lift a damn ship, right? Because he's not enough training. He's not whatever the hell else. But he's also considered one of the most powerful Jedi ever, okay? I mean, he projected himself. He can't lift a damn ship. This girl's had zero training whatsoever.
Yeah, and she's lifting boulders.
She's lifting bazillions of boulders around her, just floating in space. I mean, just... All right, go ahead.
You could have that same complaint about The Force Awakens.
Sure.
Which was my thing. Like, all of a sudden, she like did the Jedi mind trick. Like, who the fuck told her that was a thing? Like, why would you suddenly try that? But that's that movie.
Yeah. On that, because on that. So she turns there in that battle with her and Kylo and pulls the lightsaber out of the snow. Freaking Luke couldn't pull the damn light. He had to concentrate like a son of a bitch, hanging upside down to pull this lightsaber out of the snow when the Wampa was coming to eat his ass. But she can just, suddenly, hey, I can wait a minute and come on.
See, I think this is done for the millennials.
It's done. It's just they call it something else.
I'm a millennial, and I don't identify as a millennial though. But okay, so my first thing that I didn't like. Well, we're gonna agree on this one. I'll save it for later. I did not like the casino side story. I thought it was worthless.
That's my fifth one.
The only thing good to come out of that, which is one of my likes, and I guess I'll use that as a segue, is Benicio del Toro's character.
That's my second like.
Because Benicio del Toro is a fucking badass.
He is. Oh.
And just have him, like, in the movie, not as some stupid side story, which went fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
I know, like, the whole point is to show, like, oh, this is Finn's turning point. He's no longer just about saving his friend. He's about saving the rebellion, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, right. I don't care. I don't care about that character. I don't care. Yes, Benicio was the number two. Actually, it was probably my number one thing I liked about the movie, and he was barely in it. And I liked his character. I just liked seeing him.
Yeah, he wasn't even the code breaker they were looking for. Like,
yeah,
that whole side story was so poorly thought out, and there was some weird, like, animal cruelty side, like little like message.
Child
there.
slavery.
Like,
with
child
the...
slavery. Well, no one can agree with child slavery.
Oh, of course not. No.
No.
Not unless they're making my shoes, but...
Shit. That's terrible.
That is terrible.
Well, okay, you can go back to one of your likes because I guess I just folded Benicio del Toro into
Well,
it.
I'm gonna go ahead and I won't just Benicio was my okay. So another like I had was, although I do have a slight complaint with it. Okay, I liked the violence of the Rey and Kylo team up fight against the Asians.
How do you know they were Asians?
Oh, come on. If you've ever seen a Japanese movie on a Saturday morning back in the late 80s, early 90s, all their movements were completely mimicked from the same ninja movies you were watching, or Shogun or whatever the hell else. It was the same thing. It's like, at least don't make it look
Maybe
like
it's
you're
just that fighting style that they wanted those guys to have.
ninjas.
Sure. Darth Maul was kind of a ninja, but he wasn't Asian.
But
Stereotypes.
that's what they're doing. They're stereotyping
That's
them.
what you just did.
No, that's what they're doing.
Well, I mean, the way that they changed their armor, they looked kind of like samurais. So
Sure.
their fighting style fit with their visual style. So
Did you like their armor, by the way? Did you like the way that looked? The flat
I
red,
thought they looked like,
shiny flat red.
like weird futuristic lipstick
Yeah.
cases. Like I thought
No, that's a good point.
I liked, like, back in the original movies, I liked the simplicity of those guys. They just had like a fucking helmet and a red cape.
Yeah.
They weren't like, they didn't look like a weird solid red can opener.
Yeah, they look like a reverse Cylon. Like later on
Ooh.
Cylons with the, except
Yeah.
they're red with the black, the IP. Remember
Did they even have eyepieces?
Yeah, it was black right through here. Almost like a stormtrooper, but it was, yeah.
Okay.
So I guess the Cylons kind of, anyway, it's not the same thing.
Well, we're matching up pretty well because that was one of my likes as well. I did like that battle just because it was a little more brutal than I'm used to in a Star Wars movie, and I'm cool with that. And given that Kylo Ren's like saber is like based off of like a claymore, that was like a much more brutal like fighting style back then, not as elegant as like the fencing style they did in the original trilogy. So I thought that was cool to just see them like go to town and really like fuck some shit up.
No, I don't know. It's like, I thought the fight scene was okay. I mean, I think I'd have to see it again. I would probably I'm not the movie. I'm not seeing that fuck movie ever again. Just like that scene.
Phantom Menace, I only just watched the Darth Maul fight scene.
Oh yeah, it's the only thing worth in the whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Liam Neeson's great, but...
Well, yeah. But he can't save a movie.
He cannot save... No. But yes, so the violence, I liked that because it almost offset... Actually, I shouldn't even say almost. It didn't anywhere near offset the ridiculous, terrible, terrible humor. I mean, that's my other thing. I'll go into that. Go ahead.
There's your segue.
Okay, so one of my major issues was the humor. Okay, it's because what was so great about the originals, okay, this is not the original, anyway, what was so great about it is the humor in it was clever, You had Han and Chewie running around a corner into a bunch of stormtroopers. That's funny. You've got Laugh It Up Fuzzball crap in a kind of offset serious thing with Leia and Luke there when he walked. I'm just saying, or with Leia at the time. There's all this. It was clever and it was meaningful for the time because, they're in the fucking middle of a rebellion, right? There's all this battle stuff going on and whatever else. And any of the humorous stuff, and I am not anywhere near including the prequels in this, it was just as ridiculous. But this was more like, it's like teenage humor today. I mean, you're act like you're calling into and you can't hear. I'm sorry, Mom, I can't hear you right now while you're out and you're supposed to be home from, going out with your boyfriend or girlfriend and you should have been home by now and it's 10 o'clock. And they did that whole beginning thing with him talking. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that your mom joke.
Yeah, it was so stupid.
Yeah. This is a plague with really like that started from Marvel movies, in my opinion. Everything has to have a punchline. I mean, even The Force Awakens, Finn was a comic relief and BB-8 was a comic relief.
Yeah.
and I guess like Poe had like one kind of funny line, but like not everybody was the comic relief like this movie.
Yeah.
And you don't need that. I think it's really like Guardians of the Galaxy came out and everyone was like, oh, everything has to be funny all the time. And that just undercuts any kind of drama you try to put in the movie.
Right. That's exactly right, yeah.
It's like, and they brought back Phasma. And
for what reason?
so that Finn could call her Chrome Dome.
Yeah. That was... Talk about... Why make her look so damn cool, right? If she's just a waste character, because that's what she is. What they've done with her the first two films, she's a waste.
The one kind of problem with that is like, I guess, yeah, she didn't really do anything, but Boba Fett is kind of the same way, because like,
yeah,
he was barely in the movies and then he fell into a hole. But everyone's like, Boba Fett is the fucking shit, and I will say that to the day I die. But I mean, at least he captured.
I agree with you.
Han Solo. He did something.
Yeah, he did something. He captured. Yes.
Phasma like gave up in the first movie really quick and like, oh yeah, I'll take down the shields. And then in the second movie, she's like, oh, I'm gonna fight you, and then she just falls into space and dies.
Well, you think she'll probably
she'll be back.
She'll be back in the next one.
But no, she had a
that little crack
open to her. Yeah. Like, yeah, what was the significance of showing her fucking eyeball?
Right.
Like, wouldn't it be cooler if like her mask came off and you're like, oh, it's Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly.
And then not kill her. Like, and so she can come back and actually be a real badass in the third movie.
Yeah, I agree. They needed to not do the eye thing, because you had, Kylo's face with the scarring thing from Force Awakens. If they were going to break some of her helmet off for something cool, they should have hacked off half her bottom jaw or something. Make her look real grotesque. I mean, Jesus really push that shit.
That like a broke Pez dispenser?
That's exactly like right at the jaw, right where it goes. Lob that damn thing off. Have her tongue like, and then she falls into the depths of.
She'd look like one of those creatures from Dead Space.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you get your first Dead Space movie. It's just Brienne of Tarth missing her bottom jaw.
Listen, we're figuring this shit all out for JJ right now, all right? So look, they cut off this, and then they could have made her helmet now, because they would have had to build her a jaw.
Yeah.
That whole chrome dome. Now they could call her Chrome Jaw next one or something.
Or just Jaws.
Jaws. Exactly.
Now, something you just said will easily segue into my biggest hate of the movie, and that's the Princess Leia Superwoman force pull me back from space.
You know what I called it?
What'd you call it?
I called it Leia's Star-Lord and Gamora's best impression.
It's true. It's the same.
It's the same fucking thing, except she used herself and I guess all this force that she's never theoretically.
So,
I mean,
like the defenders of this scene are like, oh, fans don't understand why Leia can do this all of a sudden, like, and they compare it to like survival instinct, like a mom, like a car rolls over on like their child, and like all of a sudden they have like the strength to pick up the car. I'm like, okay, I have no problem with the idea behind her doing it.
Sure.
I have a problem with them having a perfect out.
Yeah, it was perfect.
To end the character. And when they did that nice little slow pan around her face when she was floating in space, like it would have been a nice send-off.
I thought so too.
Bring up that Leia theme song a little bit, and then just,
and then she's
cool.
Yeah.
But they brought her back.
And they brought, which was just, because it was perfect, because the way Kylo, he knew that she died from the, but he didn't do it, which, it was perfect. And then she Star-Lords her ass right back into the...
Now, preferably, like, for me to fix the problem with the fact that you're now dealing with an actress who's deceased, they had two outs. They had that one, or when Laura Dern's character, like, Starship shot that dreadnought and, like, sacrificed herself, that could have been Leia. My like, what I would have preferred, so when Kylo's like battling with his intention of like, does he kill his mom or not?
Yeah.
And then those TIE fighters go by and shoot, having Kylo's character either shoot those projectiles out of space to show his conflict, or speed up and take the damage from the hit.
Yeah.
And that takes him out of the fight. And that helps sell later on, like, the thought that Kylo might be able to be brought back to the good side.
Right, yeah.
And then have Leia do what Laura Dern's character did later on. Because, like, I was talking to our buddy Kyle about this. And he said that would have been, like, a really cool exit. Like, the diplomat finally, like, said, okay, we need major force of violence right now, and I'm going to do it. Like, that's something that broke her. Like, seeing her, what's left of the rebellion, getting picked off one by one.
Right.
And just, nope. No more diplomacy, no more whatever. Shotgun.
No, I think you're both right.
So
Anything better than the way that they did it.
Yeah. So what Rian Johnson has done is said, hey, JJ, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Because how can you have a satisfying end for that character now? You can't.
They're going to let this guy do another trilogy that he's going to write up on his own.
I think, like, given his prior work, this was not the movie I expected him to make.
No, I loved his other...
Looper
and Brick. Thank you. I kept thinking Bridge. I loved both those movies. I thought they were great. Just, no, not what I expected at all.
See, I think he might actually do better with his own trilogy because we'll have no attachment to the characters that he brings out. So I think part of it was like his treatment of characters. Like, I did not like how Luke was treated. Like, I have no problem with him. Like, he became a hermit. That seems to be kind of a thing for Jedis who fail in some way. I mean, Obi-Wan did it, Yoda did it.
Sure.
So that fit, but the whole weird pole vaulting to fish with a stick that's huge.
Yeah.
And then drinking some, like, blue titty milk.
Yep, blue titty milk.
Straight out of the teat.
Did you like the whole when he swished it around his mouth and and smiled back? Which, what the fuck was with Yoda? The one scene.
Well, hold on.
All right, sorry.
All
right.
I know your whole thing with Yoda. Let's go back to Luke.
All right, Luke. Go ahead. Sorry.
Luke, I don't think ever really joked.
No.
In the thing ever, like in the originals, like, so all of a sudden he's funny. He's like tickling Rey with the Force, which sounds dirty as shit. And then the end, like brushing the shit off of his shoulder, and I'm like, no, this they really missed the mark on that, which is no pun intended. Mark Hamill, they missed the mark. I'm funny,
clever.
damn it.
That was clever. That was. I had to think about it for a second.
That's how you can tell something's really funny, when you have to think about it for a second.
No,
All right, go. You can talk about your Yoda thing. Have we talked about anything good in a while?
Well, all right. I can. I'll go to. You already killed me on my Leia Star-Lord performance. Oh, you know what? I tell you what. I got another point.
I only have one last thing I liked.
Oh, I only have one
since
last
we
thing.
capped it, like.
All right, so I'll tell you. Yes, the one last thing that I liked was Adam Driver's performance, especially the anger and how he lost his shit when he saw Luke at the end standing in the sand. That wasn't really Luke; it was him projecting. Anyway, like, I really liked. I don't know. I liked this guy. I didn't like him as much in The Force Awakens because, and I didn't blame him. I felt like it was more maybe JJ or somebody telling him to act more like a whiny little brat. But this one, I liked him better in, and I really liked him. Like, he just gets so damn pissed. Kind of like that scene in Force Awakens when he just starts beating the shit out of all the electrical equipment in that one room with his lightsaber. But I liked him better in this one, minus the Skyping jerk-off session with his shirt off.
And his really high-waisted pants.
Yeah, they were really high-waisted.
He looked like a pirate.
He did look like he should have been in Pirates of the Caribbean. One of those. What are we up to? Not part 7 or 8 or
9,
12.
I don't know. Soon they're just it's gonna be Johnny Depp's corpse on a marionette.
Well, which fits because they can't seem to get away from some sort of already dead thing is the antagonist in it.
Yeah, they'll go real method. It's like just really like a dead Johnny Depp corpse. Just
Have him hold a bottle of rum.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, we're lining up pretty well because my last thing that I really liked was Kylo Ren's character. I think he was the only one who didn't have a joke, except for if you just count like the visual of his nipples as a joke.
God, yeah. You know, I thought I had interest. Mine are, but his. Yep.
What's that? Little nipples?
I wasn't gonna say that, but I don't think he
the
had.
Viewers need to understand, like you can't just go like, I thought mine. Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, it could have been a third nipple. You don't know.
Oh.
Well, they don't
He
know.
might have
You know, but he might.
Yeah, like his character was the only one that was like treated with some kind of seriousness. So it was a stark contrast from everyone else who's like cracking jokes all the time.
Yeah.
So it was refreshing, and like of the people involved, I think he's the best actor actually.
Oh yeah, I agree. Oh, what's her face playing Rey? I think she's a good actress. I like her. But not. I mean, she doesn't stand out to me as much as Adam Driver, of course. But
yeah, I think she's good. But the part is just how she's written.
Yeah,
like I think she could do a good job. It's just I don't know. She's always in a state of just like almost utter surprise. Like
yeah, I like how she already said that the third one that she signed for, she's done.
And good for her.
Good for her.
Now, I'll say my I didn't write this down, but I should have. My last thing that I disliked is that people's biggest complaint about The Force Awakens, like, oh, this is just A New Hope all over again, and people are like creaming their pants over this one. I was like, this one is Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi all rolled into one.
And then they just flipped some stuff around, like between the Hoth scene being
Hoth is at the end.
Yeah.
And it's not a snow planet, it's a salt planet, but it looks the exact same. And the young
they're even all in a damn
apprentice
ditch. Yeah.
goes to a far off place to find a Jedi Master and learn the ways. She has some weird thing in a fucking cave.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, her friends are basically in a chase movie the whole time, just like Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
But then they steal from Return of the Jedi, where like, oh, there's good in him. I'm gonna go find that good in him. And then she does, and he turns against his master and kills him. But oh, there's a twist. He did it just because he wants to be king shit.
It's like there was an assistant behind the director, and they're doing this, and somebody goes, you know, I just want to kind of point this out. You're literally doing everything from those two movies. Maybe change something. Like you said, make it so there's the twist at the end where he is not just going to be, what is the Supreme Leader name or whatever? He's now Supreme Leader.
See, I don't think we've seen the last of Snoke.
I hope they Darth Maul his thing like they do when they put the spider legs on his ass. And
he's going to have new arms too, because like he got cut at a weird angle. I think he lost his arms too.
Man,
he's gonna have spy. Well, like me, who needs hands when you don't have a dick to masturbate with? So
that's a good point. You don't need hands anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna shit in a bag. It's just gonna be a tube coming out. Like, yeah, there you go.
You're right.
Just gonna call them old shit bags. Old shit bags, Snoke. At it again. Look at its spider legs.
I wonder if he can still do that stomp with the electricity, force lightning, excuse me, for the nerds. Remember he did that stomp?
We've argued about The Last Jedi for a half an hour.
I don't consider myself a Star Wars nerd. I'm calling them, if you're going to get real technical with the naming stuff, then you're a nerd. If you just appreciate and want to try to stick along canon, that's not as nerdy to me.
You're a walking contradiction.
All right, so my last 2 points, okay?
We still have to do a wrap-up after this, too.
Okay. Why the fuck does everybody suddenly have Force?
I don't know. I think, like, that Rian Johnson's just trying it so hard to be like, we're going to end this whole Skywalker, like, it has, like, Force is just passed down through families. Like, it could be with anybody.
I think I brought this up to you before with the whole Whedon-verse thing with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The beginning of the film, the first thing I thought when you have the the engineer woman that fell down and she kicks it. They make it really seem like she now is able to use some sort of force to make that
I just think she's a good catch.
It seems like all the women in this, and I'm not
there
opposed.
there was plenty of
whatsoever.
There was very girl power centric, which I didn't have a problem with.
No, I've got no issue with it. I'm just curious as to why all of a sudden in this film they decide to push that or point that out. Sure, you could say maybe it's time to do that or whatever. But Leia's she was always a very
she was a badass.
Badass the whole time. She seemed to have more courage than the other two, and she's snarky
she always had more courage than Han.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I didn't understand that. And seriously, Yoda, what the fuck? All right, everyone's all excited because he's back in puppet form, and why? He's and they're hopping his ass up and down like he's on a it's like he's on one of those puppet show things. Like the cardboard box or the wooden stage thing they would put out, and you do this little shit. They had him bouncing up and down like this.
Doing visuals on a podcast really helps the listener.
I just told you it was like a cardboard display theater thing,
but they
or
can't
like
see
a wood
you popping
thing.
up and down your arm.
I said popping up and down. All right, they can't see it. I'm showing you, but they can't see. I told them I'm popping. They're bouncing his ass up and down like something. He looked like he was on meth.
Maybe he is. Maybe when you're one with the Force, it's like doing meth.
It's like, why even bring him back? It's because you know what they said? We've shit on everybody we can shit on, but we can't bring back Obi-Wan on this because, Alec Guinness is gone. We're not going to bring Ewan in because we all know that as he aged, he looked like Alec Guinness.
Yeah. So
they brought everyone in they could shit on, but they didn't bring Obi-Wan in to stand next to Yoda while Yoda did his meth dance. Laughing hysterically.
I think we've said our piece. Despite all of my shitting, I still give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. I know that seems hard to believe.
Yeah, I honestly... I can't even give it... I give it like a 1.5. I mean, the story, the characters, the script, the only thing... It was pretty at times.
Yeah.
That's all I can say that I liked about it. Pretty at times.
Okay. So... we'll wrap that up right here. We're going to try to keep these things to around a half hour. But before we go, are you working on anything that you want to promote or shout out? If not, don't feel the need to say anything.
Don't say anything unless you have something.
Yes.
No, I'm just writing.
Just writing.
Just writing.
All right. I'm working on trying to get a art YouTube channel up.
That's right.
Slow coming, but it's something.
It's better than fast. It's over too quick.
All right. Until then, we're Borden, Ohio.